Hello, and welcome to Laser Etched Pint Glass. My name is Ken. I am the Digital Services Specialist at the Barrington Area Library. To complete this tutorial, you will need to download a free software called Inkscape, which we will use to create our designs. After your design is complete, I will show you how to send me the file so that it can be laser etched. I will then send you an email when the pint glass is ready to be picked up at the library. If you need help completing any part of this tutorial, please email me at digitalservices@balibrary.org. For those of you that signed up for the program, there will be no charge for this pint glass. Because space for the program is limited, if you did not sign up, or if you are watching this video at a later date, you can still complete this tutorial, but please note that we charge $1 per pint glass for projects outside of programs. Alright, so first, let's install Inkscape. So go to inkscape.org in a web browser, and then hover over the download option, and then click current version. So today I'm going to be using Inkscape 1.0. So let's choose your operating system. If you have Windows, click on Windows. And then depending on your computer, you will either choose the 32-bit or 64-bit. Most newer computers have 64-bit, so go ahead and click on that. And then click on Installer in exe format. And then follow the prompts to install it the rest of the way. If you have a Mac computer, then go ahead and click on Mac over here. And because I'm on a Mac right now, it is installing. After the file downloads, follow the prompts to finish the installation. After you successfully install Inkscape, let's go ahead and download the template from our website. Visit BALibrary.org and then scroll down the page and go to View All Programs. And then in the keyword search, just type laser. And then over here on the calendar, click Laser Etched Pint Glass. And then scroll down the page here where it says download the template here. Go ahead and click this Google Drive link. And so here is the file. Go ahead and click download. And then you'll see the file will download here at the bottom of the page. So let's open up Inkscape and then we will import our file. This is what Inkscape looks like when you first open it up. It starts off with a blank document, but we want to go ahead and open the template that we just downloaded. So let's go to File and then click Open. And then I'm going to navigate to my Downloads folder here, and I see Laser Etched Pint Glass Template.svg, which I just downloaded. So click on that and click Open. And so now you see the document open, but we don't have a good view of it. So let's hit the 5 key on the keyboard, and that will give us an automatic zoom here. Another thing that happened when I opened up the file is that if you scroll up on the side here, you can see top of glass is not actually on the page here, which this is not super important, but if you just click, you can, drag it over here and drag the words here so that they all fit on this page. The reason why I put top of glass and bottom of the glass is just for reference. The reason is that when I put the glass into the laser cutter, it's sideways like this. So we want to make sure our design is oriented the right way on the page. So eventually we will go ahead and delete top of glass and bottom of the glass. But I just want to make sure that you see these words here just for a reference of the way we want to orient the design that we do. And also with this design, we want to make sure to keep it between these two lines that I added. We don't want to etch the glass too close to the top or too close to the bottom. So as long as you keep it about within these two lines, then we will have a great looking design. So you can zoom out of the document by hitting the minus key on your keyboard, and you can zoom in by hitting the plus key on your keyboard. And as I mentioned before, if you want to have the automatic zoom of the full page, then just go ahead and hit the number 5 on your keyboard, and that gives you a great view of the full document. Another thing we want to make sure is that our document is in inches. So to do that, let's go to File, and then go to Document Properties here. And we want to make sure that units is in inches over here, and then display units is also in inches on top. If it's anything else other than inches, then go ahead and change it to inches just so we're working with the same space. And when you change it to inches, you should see the width is 5.75 inches and the height is 9.5 inches. Now it's time to think about our designs. I will go through two options with you today. The first will be making a design with an online tool called Monogram Frames. The second option will be searching for an image on the internet and then importing that into Inkscape. I will also show you how to add text to your designs. If you already have a file that you want to use, you can skip ahead in this video to the part where I talk about importing the file into Inkscape. Let's talk about Monogram Frames. If you just type in monogramframes.com, then you will get to the website here. If you scroll down the page, then you'll see this is where we do our design. On the left-hand side, there are fonts to choose from. You'll notice that there are single letters and then there are multiple letters down here. So if you want to do more than one letter, you'll have to choose one of these fonts with multiple letters. The top fonts will only let you type in one letter. On the right-hand side here are the frames that will go around the letters. And if you scroll through, you can see that there are a lot of great options over here. So I am going to choose a font with multiple letters, and then I'm going to type in my initials. If I don't like a font, then all you need to do is just click on another one to preview it. And then go ahead and find a frame that you like over here. Once you pick a frame, you'll notice that a slide bar shows up down here, and this will change the size of the letters. So go ahead and make sure that it fits within the frame. So feel free to take your time in finding a good combination of font and frame. Once you're ready to download it, then all you need to do is just scroll down the page here. Hit this light blue button that says download your files. And then scroll down again. You will have to check this box here that says that you've read and accepted the terms. And then go ahead and click on SVG. That's the file type that we want to import. And so you'll see down here is where the download is. So let's go back into Inkscape and then import this into our template. Okay, so to import this, let's go to File and then choose import. And then again, I'm going to go into my downloads folder, and the file is titled Monogram Frames. And then I'm going to click open down here, and then you can hit OK. And you'll see it doesn't necessarily come in the middle of the page, so you may need to kind of zoom out to see it. So all you need to do is just click and drag it to the area that you want to place it. So the first thing we want to do is rotate this object so it is going the same direction as the letters here. So go ahead and click on the object 2 times, and then you'll see these rotation arrows show up here. Now, whether you are on a Mac or a PC, hold down the Control key on both of those, and then go ahead and click on one of the corners, and then you can rotate, and as you can see, it's kind of like snapping to a grid, so you will be able to perfectly rotate it 90 degrees. And then also in terms of placement of the object, you can move it up and down. You can also move it with the left and right or up and down arrows. I also want to mention that it doesn't matter how high or low your logo is on the page. It just matters that it's between these 2 lines. So my object just happens to be a perfect size for this template. If your object is too small or too big, you can resize it. If you click just 1 time on the object, then you'll see these scaling arrows show up. And if you hold down Control and click and drag, then you can adjust the size of your object like that. Another option is that you can come up here if you know a specific size that you want it. Be sure to change this to inches as well over here. You can also hit the lock in between the width and height, and that will lock the scale. So if you want the width to be 3 inches, for example, then you'll see the height adjusts automatically as well in proportion, so you don't get a distorted image. Like for example, if you just click that, then the image will be more distorted than how you want. Also, if you make a mistake on here, all you need to do is go to Edit and Undo. So for example, if this is my completed design and I'm ready to print, before I save it, I want to delete the text box that says top of glass and bottom of the glass. So all you need to do is just click there and then hit backspace or delete on your keyboard. And you don't have to delete these lines, they're not going to print out. But so what you want to do is go to File and then go to Save As. Go ahead and title your document with your first and last name, just so I know who it's for when I print these. And also down here where it says SVG file, we want to save it as a PDF file. So scroll down over here and let's find PDF right there. So the name of your document should be your first name and your last name .pdf. And choose a location where you will be able to find it on your computer and then click Save. When you're ready to submit your file to me, go ahead and attach the PDF file to an email, and please email it to digitalservices@BALibrary.org. Okay, let's talk about adding a JPEG file or a PNG file to your design. When you're searching for an image file, be sure to include the word silhouette in your results, because designs that are only one color, like black and white, that it will give us a better result with the glass etching. If it's multiple colors, it won't be able to etch properly on the glass. So whatever you want your design to be, just include the word silhouette after it, and it will only show up with black and white options, which is basically what we want for this. So when you find a design that you like, go ahead and click on it, and then right click Save Image As, and save it to your computer. Okay, so now we're back in Inkscape, and we're going to import that JPEG file in. Go to File, and go to Import. And I saved it to my desktop. It is Tiger JPEG, so I'm going to click Open, and then OK. And then you can see, again, it came over on the side here. So the first thing we want to do with a JPEG or a PNG file is we want to convert it to SVG format so that it will be able to print. Come up to the Path menu at the top and then click Trace Bitmap. And then a little box will open up over here. Click OK, and then you should see a preview of what the object will look like. If your object isn't dark enough, then you can increase the brightness threshold by hitting the plus sign. If it is too dark, you can click minus over here. And so basically we want it, to look like it does here. All you need to do is close out of this box when you're done. And then it will create another image on top of your JPEG. And so how to tell the difference between the SVG and the JPEG is if you drag it over toward the line, you'll see that this line passes through the SVG. This one is the JPEG. I'm going to click it over here, and you'll see that the edge of the document here, it doesn't pass through. Like you can see, it stops right there. So we want to delete the JPEG version. We want to keep the SVG version. So the test is if the line passes through, then that's the one that we want to keep. So let's click on this one and click either delete or backspace there. And so now all we have to do is resize it and rotate it. So again, I'm going to click a second time over here, hold down my control key, and then rotate it in this direction. And then I'm going to click it once again in order to resize it. So I'm going to hold down Control and then resize the object there. Okay, so one last thing I want to do is show you how to add text if you just want to type text within Inkscape. There's a tool over here, it's the A tool. Go ahead and click on that, and then you'll have to click on the document itself, and then you can start typing. So you can add your name or whatever it is you want to type. You can also choose a font over here at the top left. An easy way to decide between fonts is just click inside the font name here, and then if you tap on the down arrow on your keyboard, then you can scroll through all different kinds of fonts, and you'll see a live preview of all those. If you want to increase the size of your font, then just come over here and grab the drop down and change it to something bigger like that. So when you have a font that you like, you can go ahead and rotate that. First, click on this arrow tool at the top, and then resize it if you want, and click it a second time to rotate, just like before. And now we can click and drag and move it up or down. Okay, so I have my logo and I have my name, but they're not aligned. So if we want to align them, then all you need to do is highlight both things that you want to align, and then come up to the object menu here, and then click on Align and Distribute, and then a menu will pop up over here. And we want to choose this one, which is center on the horizontal axis. So now we see that the tiger and my name are both centered on the document. And again, go ahead and delete where it says top of glass and the bottom of the glass. And so now this design is ready to be saved. Go to File and Save As. And then again, name it your first name and your last name. And then choose PDF file. Okay, so that concludes today's tutorial. Again, if you have any questions, please email me at digitalservices@balibrary.org. And also, please submit your designs to that same email address. So we look forward to having you pick up these designs, and thank you very much for completing the tutorial.